Now, the Flint water crisis has received some national attention, and with that, some pretty nasty reactions. Now, for one of them, we're going to go to former State Representative Bill Ballinger, who called this crisis overblown. Watch.
Parts of the last decade, Flint has been number one in crime, number one in murder, number one in poverty in the country, and Flint has been pounded. It's lost half its population. This is terrible publicity for Flint. It's vastly exaggerated. The percentage of children and people affected in these tests is probably less than 2%. There are 500,000 people in this country, children under age 6, with elevated lead levels in their blood right now. Flint has only 43 that have been demonstrated.
It's such a small amount. I mean, a few kids get lead poisoning, but who cares? A few kids in Flint, we've got a lot of people all around the country get lead poisoning. Not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I mean, Flint's full of crime anyway, and black people. Did I say black people? I meant it's full of crime and poor people. Jesus. Now he continues.
But you have so much counter-indicative data to that. You have Dr. Mona, who brought it out because she and her colleagues were seeing such off-the-charts numbers of lead in young kids. You have the state itself that has now been forced to recognize that the lead levels were much higher than anticipated. They've tracked it back to their inability to treat the water correctly, and maybe it was pH level or something else, but it corroded the oxide layer on the pipes and allowed the lead to leach. Everybody's saying this. I get that Flint is going through a hard time on other levels, but why mitigate this when it's life and death for so many?
I'm not mitigating it, Chris. What you just said just now, exaggerated things.
How so?
Go to the Kettering University report. Mary Barra, president of General Motors, you're aware of her? Mm-hmm. Her alma mater is Kettering University. Used to be General Motors Institute of Technology. Just came out with a 9-page report. It's on the web. Everybody should read that. It puts everything in perspective about Flint, the current crisis, the history, the demography of Flint, the questions of where the alleged poisonings, if that's the word we want to use, have occurred in Flint and what's being done to rectify it. People have got to stop pointing fingers of blame and assigning culpability to public figures and concentrate on solving the problem.
Oh, okay. So we need to stop blaming the people who are responsible and to get perspective, right? Okay, well, we need perspective. Well, here's some perspective for you. It doesn't matter if 40 kids, 10 kids, or 1 kid was poisoned by lead. You know why? Because this was a failure of leadership and government and accountability. This was a man-made problem. It doesn't matter how many. One is too many. One is too many. And see, the thing is, it was a man-made problem that they knew was happening. They knew it was happening for a long time, and they denied it. They denied it. No, the water's completely safe to drink. What are you talking about? Oh, you're getting it independently tested? I wouldn't believe that. You're just trying to make trouble. That's it. You're trying to make trouble. No, you made the trouble all on your own. But see, this isn't even the worst reaction from this guy. For the worst reaction, we go to Fox News, where anchor Heather Nauert, who I didn't even know existed until today, pointed to Democratic candidates getting involved as, quote, an example of how political this is getting. So now this is a political issue now.
As an example of how political this is now getting, the mayor of Flint, Michigan, at the White House at this hour, meeting with Valerie Jarrett. The White House is going to be naming a czar. Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders weighing in the Democratic debate, coming down on Republicans about this.
Because it raises issue of class and race. 60% of the residents of Flint, Michigan are black. 41% live below the poverty line. They're going to the White House because they want a federal emergency disaster declaration to get federal funds, but they're likely not going to get it.
Well, and this is a way they could potentially get more black votes in the coming election.
Wait, what? Wait. No, this is a way to get more black votes. That's amazing. Children have been poisoned in the town, and that's all they can think of. In their mind, everything comes down to, well, they're just trying to pander. They're just trying to get votes. They're trying to get black votes. The projection here is absolutely amazing. Fox News and Republican politicians, look, they pander to xenophobes and racists all the fucking time to get their votes. I don't believe that most Republican politicians are that completely racist. Some of them are. I don't think all of them are. But a lot of them pander to the worst of society, to the racists and xenophobes. And now, it's funny because they're projecting. They project that onto Democrats. Well, you're just pandering to black people. You're pandering to get votes. That's amazing. But see, here's the thing. When Democrats are actually concerned about lead poisoning, it's just to get votes. That's all they care about. It's amazing. Look, everybody should care about this issue, right? Whether it's black, Latino, white, whatever. Children were exposed to hazardous waste levels of lead because of a failure in leadership, because of a failure in government. Now, I don't care who the fuck you are. You should be paying attention to this and holding the people accountable that are to blame for this, that did this. And apparently, unlike Fox, look, I don't care who caused this. I don't care the political optics of this, right? I don't care what party started this. If it were a Democrat, I'd want his head. Go to jail, resign, something. I don't care. If you poison children, that is not acceptable. Imagine if ISIS has poisoned 40 children in Flint. We'd be bombing another country right now. But if a politician does it, well, they're just trying to pander for votes to try to, we're overblowing the situation. And now going to get federal disaster funds, that's just a way to pander for black votes. This is amazing. This whole thing is just a disgusting display of partisanship and projection. Man, these people should be ashamed of themselves.